All right, my name is Tyler Nanogenix, and today, guys, we're talking about Dragon Ball Super Episode 69, Goku vs. Arale. A ridiculous battle will end the Earth? Okay, so let's begin by saying this one is a little bit later than the others have been because I had a Christmas party for my job and did not get to watch the episode until today. But on that same note, I think that this is going to be one of the most just kind of laid back reviews I think I've ever had. Probably one of the shortest one as well, because this was just a fun episode. This was an episode to sit back, relax, don't think about logic, don't think about, you know, all these other things that we like to think about when we do think Dragon Ball, and just sit back and enjoy this Dragon Ball Super episode. So it literally begins off by saying Arale-chan has come to Dragon Ball Super. So I think just that, even that sets this up for this being a just ridiculous episode. So obviously we begin over in Penguin Village, where Arale and the Dr. Slump characters are from. And I also too, I want to go ahead and note that this is a review from strictly a Dragon Ball fan. I was pretty much unaware of Arale until about a month ago. I had seen pictures of her. Obviously, I'd seen her character before because if you're any kind of Dragon Ball fan, you've probably at least seen her character before. You maybe didn't know her origins or anything like that. But until about a month ago, when she came to Dokkan, that was the first time I'd really ever dived in, and I wanted to know. I was like, what is this character? Who is Arale, and so forth. And basically, she is from an anime that Akira did back in the early 80s called Dr. Slump, and that is pretty much this entire episode. So if you're not familiar with it at all, this episode is going to be like, wait, what's going on? But that's pretty much what is going on with this episode. And then one of the other things too is when she's running through and she crashes into this car, it has an animation style effect that says Dokkan, because Dokkan, I remember looking this up when I first started playing the game. I was like, what does Dokkan mean? And basically it's just like a crash sound that a lot of animes like to use over in Japan. Anyways, so this episode is centered around Dr. Slump, or Senbei Noramaki. Hopefully I'm not butchering those names too terribly bad. Please forgive me if I am. So anyways, Senbei has created this thing called the Reality Machine number 2, and pretty much whatever you think, whatever you truly deeply desire, this machine can create. So it's this event for scientists. Who's created the greatest event? I'm assuming Bulma is just there because I feel like a time machine would trump this. Kind of, maybe. I guess it's a toss up in the air, but that's not what this is about. There's literally no logic gone into this episode. And of course, Hercule is the presenter. Vegeta all swagged up. Goku all swagged up in his suit and his hair slicked back that lasts for about 2 seconds on screen. So a lot of us on Twitter that had those images going around that were freaking out of the fact that Goku's hair was different for once. Guess what, guys? It lasts about literally 2 seconds on screen, and boom, it's right back to normal Goku hair, which I think Saiyan heritage, you're not your hair is not supposed to change at all, or something of that nature. So I think that's why most people were freaking out, but his hair stays slicked back for a smidge of a sec, and boom, it's gone. No haircut, nothing weird like that. But it was kind of cool seeing Goku with some different hair that isn't caused by him going Super Saiyan or something of that nature. Anyways, so Hercule is the presenter, presents the award to Dr. Slump for the Reality Machine number 2, and he is let's show what this thing can do, and makes a porn magazine basically, and everything. And Hercule's like, well, what's so special about these? He's like, all the women in that magazine were completely just created from my imagination right here, right now in that magazine. So he's like, Hercule, you must try this out, or Mr. Satan, whichever you guys want to refer to him as. I'm going to refer to him as Hercule for the remainder of this, just for simplicity. But he's like, make something you want, and he makes a little mini Hercule doll, which a product line, I guess. I assume that in this world, especially with how so wrapped up in himself Mr. Satan Hercule is, you would think that there would already be a miniature Hercule out there that you could purchase, but we get a miniature Hercule. And at that time, Dr. Mishirito, or however you say it, busts in, and Dr. Slump's like, wait, you died in the Dr. Slump comic, and actually pulls out a Dr. Slump comic. It's freaking amazing, or manga. It's freaking awesome. And anyways, he's like, well, look, and then he doesn't have feet, he's a ghost. And he's like, look who I brought with me, and he brings Arale and the 2 angels or whatever with him, and he's giving him Platine X, which is apparently supposed to increase a child's willingness or want to play by 100 times. So Arale is like, let's do this. And anyways, Hercule's like, we need to evacuate, and gets everyone out of the building and goes over and is like, Vegeta, can you do something here? And next thing you know, Vegeta's getting smacked out of the building. Vegeta is getting smacked out of the building by Arale. And he comes out there, Goku's asleep, and Goku's like, wait, what, what's going on? And he's like, Vegeta's like, she must be a gag character. Must be a gag comic character. Now, I wrote down comic because I was taking notes as I was watching the episode. I'm assuming, and I know that's probably why I say comic as well, because I'm pretty sure when Crunchyroll translates Dr. Slump manga, it actually called it maybe Dr. Slump comic. I'm not really sure why they're saying comic versus manga. Anyways, must be a gag manga character. And he's like, I won't get anywhere fighting a gag manga character. And so there's a few more exchanges, and Vegeta's like, look, a UFO, and Arale looks away and he kicks her. Well, then Arale comes back. Actually, right before that, Arale's head fell off after the kick, and they're like, Goku's like, oh no, you took it too far, she's a little girl. Well, Arale is an android. Arale's an android that Dr. Slump created. And so obviously she just puts her head back on, and then she comes and she kicks Vegeta, and then she goes up and headbutts him, and that's the last we see of Vegeta until the very end. And so Goku and Arale are kind of like, we totally know each other. And then Son Goku, and then Arale-chan, and they recognize each other. So then Goku goes Super Saiyan Blue, and Arale's like, oh, so cool. Like, it's such a self-aware, it's such a goofy, self-aware episode. It's so much fun. I mean, the moment that it literally starts out and says, Arale comes to Dragon Ball Super, and then freaking Slump brings out a Dr. Slump manga, and like, hey, wait, you died in one of the arcs, is like so freaking cool to me. Like, that, I really enjoyed this. I hope you guys that are watching my review right now, I hope you guys that watch this episode, I hope you actually just took it for complete and 100% face value. A nice, I don't want to necessarily say, I mean, it's filler. It's what we would pretty much call filler, but at the same time, these are so much fun. These episodes are so much fun just to not put all this thought into, all these power levels into, because what we're about to talk about is ridiculous. So anyways, they do all that, and then they have a key blast from Kamehameha, and then Arale's signature move, and it's like crazy. And then Arale's like, well, now let's do time. I'm gonna do times 100. And Goku's like, wait, what? Times 100? And so Bulma's like, oh no, we gotta do something. Messages Whis, and calls Whis basically. And Whis is like, well, Beerus just went to sleep. I can't wake him up if he just went to sleep. So she grabs the camera, and Goku and Arale exchanges are still happening. She grabs the camera and points it at the reality machine too. That for everyone that's watching, it tells everyone that's watching to imagine the most delicious food that they can think of. And so she's got it pointed at that, and it creates this little like candy, I guess, some sort of little like chocolate candy. And immediately Beerus wakes up and smells it, and then they get there, which pretty sure at one point in time it was supposed to take like 20 minutes or something of that nature. But I guess to fix that, Whis is like, we got here in this crazy fast amount of time. So anyways, actually before they did that, I did skip one part. Slump makes this pink poop that Trunks runs over to Arale to distract her. And Dr. Let me refer back. Dr. Mascherito is like, it's only gonna keep her occupied for just a bit, right? But pretty hilarious. The only reason I even knew anything about the pink poop at all, because I never looked into that at all, is for sure Dokkan Battle, because that is a support item in Dokkan right now that we can get daily for tweeting it out. But anyways, so back to where we actually were with this. So Beerus and them get there. Beerus is about to eat this piece of candy, and Mascherito is basically reject the same thing he's been saying a lot, and Beerus just destroys him like he did Zamasu, like freaking crazy. And Whis is like, yeah, whether you're living or dead or ghost, Beerus can basically destroy you, which is pretty cool. So anyways, Beerus destroys Dr. Mascherito, and then eats the chocolate candy. And then he's like, he's trying to enjoy it. And he's like, anyone that messes with me right now while I'm enjoying this food will basically die. And then all of a sudden, like, something clicks. Basically, he gets a stomach ache and is like, Whis, we must go home now. And that's pretty much the episode. Actually, Arale and Slump head on back to the Penguin Village. And then Trunks looks over to Bulma and is like, aren't we forgetting something? And then it goes over to Vegeta just like dangling in the wind from the Arale headbutt. And then we get a preview for next week, which is a Universe 6, Universe 7 baseball with Yamcha and Champa and all of them, and it's gonna be tons of fun. That episode is also gonna be tons of fun. Gonna be one of these that, you know, it isn't anything crazy. It's not this new hit arc that everyone is like super excited for. It's not, you know, Zamasu or anything like that. But these are just fun. These are fun episodes. These are fun things to sit back, not overanalyze, and get to just basically enjoy yourself with what's going on screen. But anyways, that was basically my review of episode 69. I did personally really enjoy this episode. I think that, you know, for some reason you guys heard Arale and you're like, oh, this doesn't matter, so I'll just skip it. My suggestion is go watch it. Go watch it. Go enjoy it. Go spend, you know, 20 minutes. You know, eat you a snack. Do it during lunch. Do it during dinner. Do it during breakfast. Something. Just throw it on, you know, and watch it and enjoy it. And you don't have to really think about it a whole lot. It's just something to sit back and enjoy. But anyways, that's what I thought of episode 69. That's what went down in episode 69. Definitely looking forward to this baseball fight, and definitely looking forward to the next kind of crazy arc. I think this baseball fight will be the last thing that happens before we have something pretty serious start happening again in Dragon Ball Super. But anyways, guys, if you guys are new here, considering that, subscribe. But if you guys did enjoy another one of my reviews, which you guys do seem to be enjoying these a lot, and I really enjoy making them for you as well. Sorry it's a day late this time. Sorry it is a day late. Things came up. Life happened for the first time in the last like 4 or 5 weeks I've been doing these in a row. But otherwise, you guys have a great day. Keep on keeping on. Nanogenix here signing off, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.